go. The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the Mortgage Dudes only, and not those of Equity Resources Incorporated or Greentree Mortgage Services. We're not crazy. Think of them as your slightly odd, yet occasionally hilarious uncles that are very knowledgeable about mortgages. I will say, together they have over 45 years of experience in the housing market, and that may or may not have included bourbon, beer, and cigars. They are here to enlighten and entertain, and we cannot be responsible for the language or jokes. So buckle up and be ready. Things are about to get interesting.
Hey, this reminds me of you.
I heart root canals. Where did you get that at? Steal it from a dentist?
Yeah, the dentist gave it to us.
They give you a root canal and they give you a free cup?
Oh my, this is my definition of shade. I love root canals. I'll be trying that later. Okay, tell me when we're ready, you sexy bitch.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, everybody. This is Shane Marzullo, and that is Ed Moloney, and we are the Mortgage Dudes. Welcome to our podcast. We've been a little preoccupied with busyness and just everything going on, and we have a nice
Monte
nice
Cristo
cigar.
White.
Those are good.
We're going to
those are
promote
good.
Monte Cristo. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
About why we haven't been on.
But yeah, we've been busy. It's just helping people and families, and just Ed was buried in like 80 foot of snow, so now is it all melted now?
So it is all melted. So we live on Cape Cod, which is an island at the end of the wonderful Taxachusetts state of Massachusetts. Usually we do not get hit with as much snow. We had 3 storms in December, all 4 inches or less. We had a big effort in January, but then February, we got crushed. We had 70-mile-an-hour winds. They could blow your hair off your head if you had any. And we had 2 feet of snow. In the end, we had to hire a gentleman with a bobcat to pull the snow out of our our paddock, so the horses could get out. That sucked. I'm starting to think Virginia.
I thought it was yours. I thought it was your bobcat.
No, fucking bobcat. I'm not rich like you.
It's only 10 grand.
Maybe thinking about Virginia at some point, but we can discuss that at another time because I can work from anywhere because it's all about this beautiful face. My beautiful calls.
Florida's
too hot. F that.
Just go in the center of the area, not by the beach. You don't have to worry about your beach.
And maybe Tennessee, because their taxes are damn cheap compared to Ohio.
Why don't you do this? Move to Ohio, and then it's walleye season right now. Dude, I've never seen.
Okay,
fake fish. There's no fake fish.
Let's keep focused. We talked about cigars. There's a lot of shit going on in the economy, in the markets. Things from Amazon announcing layoffs to AI to oil prices to Trump, Biden, all the stuff. Bring the wig party back from the 1800s, baby. Hey, that's not the next one.
You're the only wig member.
I'm going to buy you a wig and have you wear it.
You're the only one that's actually part of the wig party. Proud sponsor of one.
So we're hearing a lot of concern from people out there. I'm going to let you hit on the topics.
A lot of the big thing right now. Yeah, I mean, people are saying, hey, why'd the rates jump up? Well, there's a few factors. There's a lot of volatility right now. I actually literally had a client call me. He's like, I thought rates were below 6. They were prior to the war. Not even below 6. They were close. They were getting close, but they were below 6 for the sleazebag mortgage companies that are saying, "Oh yeah, we'll give you 5.875," and you're like, "Oh my God, this is great." But then you're being charged 2 points plus all their other BS burger picking fees, and when you do the math, you're like, "Oh, I'm getting screwed," because it would take you like 8 to 10 years to break even.
Public service announcement, PSA. previously, years ago, Fannie and Freddie would list the rate and the points accounted to the rate. They don't do that anymore. It's based off some big formula lock. It has points and it has VA in it. So be careful. It is not, when somebody calls me and says, what's my rate? I go, what's your rate? Because if you have a 700 credit score doing a 20% down versus an 800 credit score with 40% down versus hitting income buckets in first-time buyer for home possible, home ready, Ohio State loan, Mass loan, just be careful. The fact is rates have gone up about a half a point in X weeks due to Iran concerns with oil
that was
prices,
a big part of it,
and inflation. Is that fair?
And then, I mean, I know the economy. The economy data came back. It was a little hot. When the Fed met, he wasn't. He was what he was saying wasn't really helping the investors and the stock market. So I mean, it's a whole combination of just bad news or okayish news. So, and that affects people. I mean, that affects your stock market. That affects mortgage-backed securities, all that. So, what will happen? Eventually, this is going to be over with. I know there's a big push for it. And then even in the presidency, he's pushing for it. When that is kind of over, everything's a little more calm. I think number-wise, we're employment numbers are doing decent. There is a bunch of layoffs, like you said, with Amazon, and other just with AI stuff. But that being said, the market itself is improving. Home values are rising. People are buying. I mean, that's just, I mean, those look good. How are they? Clearly, they're really healthy for you. So, yeah. Did I not see you post having an ice cream cone in the morning?
Even if it opened in the morning, I would have. That was fake news. Fake news. That was yesterday when it was.
Yeah, that was yesterday evening. You didn't want your wife to know that night. That's so you posted it in the morning so she didn't see it.
Exactly. Well, I woke up to effing snow on Cape Cod this morning. It melted, kind of like the hair that melts on your head.
Yeah,
it melted quickly. So we're in agreement that the rates will be up or down. We're in agreement that values are going up. Your market, what about inventory? In my market, we're seeing a lot. We're seeing more come on. I always tell people are like, well, there's not much available right now. Well, you're right. There's not a ton of homes available, but here's what I see. I see the, January, February, March are always kind of the slower. March starts picking up. Or getting more contracts coming in from people who are pre-approved in January and February. And then, what would have been awesome, honestly, Ed, I'm sorry, I just got to break here real quick. If I had the same bag and did this whole thing and then and pulled them out. Next one. We'll have to plan accordingly. Before I forget that Shane's off on his tangent, you need a shirt, not a graduate shirt, but a mortgage dude shirt.
Yes.
Tell them how to get a mortgage dude shirt.
I'll tell you what, you guys message us on Facebook, email us at mortgagedudes@coequity.net. You message us, just text us. We don't care. Send a carrier pigeon. You're like, hey, I want a t-shirt. Let us know. We'll get back to you and we'll get you a shirt. But you got to subscribe. So that'll push the little button. Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, but back to the whole market. I'm sorry I digress. Whoops. Our market area, it is warming up, and what you'll see is with inventory, families kind of move in times of when school gets closer to getting out. So think about the school calendar. More and more people like little Johnny and Susie, they don't want to move them out of school right at the end, or maybe little Johnny or Susie's graduating, so they're going to get that situated. Then shoot them off to college or wherever you want, the army or whatever. And then they're like, oh, we don't need this big house anymore. Let's sell it. So
I would agree. We start to see in April till June here more inventory come on. So I think we're in agreement. Values are going up no matter what because we don't produce more homes. Every market is unique, but in my market, price doesn't matter. The lower third of homes or fourth since February 10th have been a hot button. I had people make offers in January, get accepted. We closed the beginning of March. That same client, if they made that same offer February 15th, they did not get that house. They did.
Right.
We're seeing for us the lower segment being hot as hell.
Yeah, I've had more multiple offer situations now because as we're getting warmer, more people are coming out of hibernation.
Yeah, we have more millennials and Generation Z coming in the market.
Well, I think with the rates were kind of coming down, then people were like, hey, maybe I'll sell my house now. It's more realistic. It is funny though. I have a person who's selling their home right now. That rate is 2%. It was right around 2%. They're buying a new home. They're making quite a bit of money off that house. And yeah, they're going to go to a higher rate, but their payments lower. They're not paying they're going to a different property tax area. So they're not getting smoked with the school taxes. It's just better off for them. And that's what you're going to start seeing.
Rates. I saw something the other day. The percentage of rates 6% or higher versus 3% or lower. They're almost the same now in segment. And life happens, guys. Life happens. You lose a spouse. You get divorced. One gets laid off. Many are the thawing effect, as they like to say about the lower rates. The world's changed. So I think we're going to get away from rates. If you're renting, you're paying 100% interest unless you live in daddy's house and daddy doesn't charge you any rent because daddy loves his grandkids.
Oh, I love my grandkids. So I very little rent. I'm not looking to make money off my kids. So I'm just not looking to go broke off my kids, which is kind of the same thing. So, hey, I got a question for you, Ed. Fly fishing. Let's
talk about a word called...
Let's talk fishing.
Let's call patience. If you haven't met me, I'm not very patient. Fly fishing is a skill and patience. Fishing with a rod and reel is drop, wait for bite, pull, yank, which you know how to do often, yank, and then reel it in, and then fillet fish or cast into fish. But fly, you have to be very coordinated, Shane. And Moloney,
I'm coordinated. I golf. Okay. So
you're not very good.
I wasn't sure. I mean,
you're not a very good golfer. Let's be honest. Brian Gilligan is willing to drive out there and teach you how to golf if you're willing to pay for him to come.
That's okay.
Brian Gilligan is a great golfer, everyone. If you ever want a good golfer, my protege, my brains of my team, the guy that does everything on Team Moloney.
The pretty much guy does all this stuff.
Brian Gilligan is a great golfer. So if anybody here would like a ringer golfer for their tournament, call me. I might even pay to fly him out to you. So let me know if you want to come fishing. Call Moloney if you want fly fishing. I'll find somebody patient. In golfing, that's this.
Do you prefer fishing off the boat or fishing on the land?
I fish everywhere. I fish anywhere. I would fish in a toilet with a meadow fish and a magnet during the winter. I've done it. I'm going to bring the kit. My kids got me this kit. You put it in the tub and you drop it and you catch it with a magnet because winters, I'm a bitch. Oh man,
you're miserable.
You're miserable.
You need a cigar club. You need a cigar club like me. You need to have a cigar club.
We are the Democratic Liberal state of Massachusetts. We're not allowed to have flavored things. We could not have a flavored cigar.
I think it is funny is the state that says you can't have flavored cigars has legal marijuana.
And I'm going to go down the wrong road. Keep going. We got to keep going.
I just think that's funny. Anyway, that's just, I always find funny with like the hypocrisy of states.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like you can't do that.
So we've talked about the Fed a bit. Yeah. We've talked about rates. We've talked about layoffs. Yep. Should people lock or not lock? How I deal with locking or not locking. I have clients, and I said, here's what an eighth in interest rate equates to. Client one, let's say it's $30 per eighth. Where do you think your rates are going to go in the next 40 days then? I always say, I believe a quarter point either way, eyes closed. But could it go a half a point? It just did. So if it was $20 an eighth, and that's based off of a loan amount, that person's $80. I say, they always say, what would you do? So my risk tolerance is different than yours. We talk about the market. Ultimately, you, the client, with Team Moloney and with Shane, are going to make the decision. I'm going to educate you. But they always say, well, why can't you just make it for me? Because if I do and rates go down, you're going to be pissed. If I tell you to do, your risk tolerance is different than mine. I am not a Monday morning quarterback.
$80 is not that big of a deal to you, but it could be huge to somebody else. You live on this massive horse farm, so on Cape Cod, right next to the Hamptons. Right next to the Hamptons.
Do I look like I belong in a
I think the only way you belong in Hamptons is if you are driving through or you're cleaning up horse. That's it. That's all you're doing.
I think this is our most off tangent one. Good luck to Jamie and Kathy and whoever else is going to edit this one.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I know what you're saying. Because like people ask me, like, well, what do you think I should do? I said, look, you're talking to the wrong person. I'm a bit of a gambler. I'm like, maybe I'll let it roll. But that's me.
And I'm the opposite. I'm like, if the number works, done. I'm not looking back because I'll refinance it down the road.
I tell people, I'm like, look, it's not my mortgage. The one thing I know is I will never pay your payment. So then at that point, you got to be happy with it, And I'm pretty confident with some people. I'm like, look, I feel we're safe right now. I mean, it could change. I mean, it's changed in a matter of a day. It's gone up over a quarter percent point at one point in time. So, but it's also dropped. I don't know. I mean, we don't know when people say, "Oh, I know this is going to happen." No, you don't. I mean, nobody know unless you got inside the head of all the economists. You don't know anything.
One lesson I learned over the last 3 years is we do know the following. Rates have fallen for short periods of time and gone up. The last 3 years has taught me that over 23 years of if rates get to X, if you're I'm making this up, if you're at a 7% rate, don't wait for a 5. If the break even in your long-term savings is 6.25, do it. Shane, quick question. What did your wife get you for Valentine's Day?
Oh, we got each other a marriage in 1995. So I don't get married.
Wait, were you married on Valentine's Day?
No, I just don't believe in that stupid holiday.
This is what my wife got me for Valentine's Day, my own peanut stars.
She got you a pair of nuts.
Sometimes too big for what middle management says.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I mean, I think you're right, though. I mean, as far as the market, people got to trust their professional, and then they're the one that has to make the choice. And you can't get mad at them because you didn't choose. If your person's not even educating you, or at least talking to you about this, maybe you need to leave and talk to Ed and I, because that's that's just an order taker, pizza delivery person. They don't really care. So
I talked to another professional today, the guy's in commercial lending. He was shocked to the following, and this is one of the topics you highlighted. Credit. How credit can impact your rate. So I'm just going to give an example out of the blue. If you had 700 or 680 credit score and 80% LTV versus a 7 or 2080 LTV versus a 780 or higher credit score and an 80 LTV, what a difference. You could have a 680 or 650 credit score, but a 40 LTV, and it takes the badness of that credit away. If you are in Home Possible Home Ready, which is an income-based program, or some of the first-time buyer programs, it takes it away. But credit matters. It matters. And when somebody calls me and says, what's your rate? If you call somebody and they tell you, oh, our rate is this, they suck. Let me be clear. They suck. Because the answer should be, ding, ding, Ed, it's Michael. What's your rate? Michael Moore, what's your rate? Well, what do you mean? What's your credit score? What's your loan to value? What's your loan size? Where are we thinking of going? Why do you ask me all this? Because Michael, me just throwing you a rate is like you throwing meat on the table that you didn't cook. Like, you're going to get sick.
The best part of that, too, is when people do that, they're like, well, what's your rate? I'm like, well, do you have if they're looking to buy, do you even have a house yet? Because I can tell you the rate is 0. And guess what? You're not getting it because you're not in contract on a home. We can't lock a loan without, you being in contract.
But we can, and we do educate them of where they fall in the piece. We also will run credit simulators to show them how to increase their credit. We may tell them to take one person off the loan. I think the biggest problem right now is, like you said, the 5999 in the media. Be careful. Don't compare yourself to others. Talk to a professional. Understand the pieces. If you're buying an investment property or second home, Fannie and Freddie about 4 years ago, screwed everybody and put all these layered risks. Before that, they put layered risks on credit because of default rates. So the big thing is credit's important. I'm a big believer. Talk to me now, even if you're not ready to buy for 5 years. Why? We can educate you on credit. We can educate you on what debts to pay. We can educate you. The median in the U.S. was 40 last year for a first-time buyer. Median, not average, median. So do you have loved ones that are renting? Do you have loved ones that are in your basement that you don't want in your basement? And you want them the hell out someday? Reach out to me and Shane. What if they're in California, Ed? We'll find somebody there for you. Ed and Shane, do you get paid for that? No. That's not compliant. We do it because we're good people. And
that's just helping people out. Yeah. I mean, and I think a lot of people are asking right now, like, well, is it harder to get pre-approved now to buy a home? Not really. I mean, the biggest thing is credit, like Ed was talking about. Work, employment history. Fannie did come out with some new guidelines as far as consistency of employment, and look at you getting all healthy. And with that, basically, we want to see that you're working. We want to see that is your hours consistently like at 40 hours a week, or is it 36 one week and 27 another week and then 40? There's a lot of variable income there, so we have to watch out for that. Self-employed borrowers, look, we got to have 2 years tax returns. We have to analyze it. We don't go off your gross. So if you're writing off everything, because you can't sit there and go, well, I don't want to pay a bunch of taxes. Okay, well, we have to use your net income. We can add back in things, but, if you write off everything, we can't go off that. That's not how, a lot of people, don't like it, but there's some options. But
they're like bank deposit programs, but guys, every mortgage broker's going to throw their shiny coin. A bank deposit program, it may or may not fit depending on the type of business you have. And more importantly, get ready to get a higher rate, much higher rate. And these people that say no, or DSCR, which if you're buying an investment property, it's the debt servicing off that one property. But man, there is side effects to everything. It's just like COVID, when they dropped rates. Did they know, Shane, the side effect was housing was going to go up 30-40% and rents were going to go up? No. So when you're looking at a program, be careful. Fair?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and then, the other aspect of everything is down payment. What we're finding is Fannie and Freddie really like people that have a lot of assets. If they have a lot of money, in a checking, savings, 401k. Maybe they're not using it. They like that because they know if a person gets in trouble, they can at least take money from there. Down payment money for a person's gift, grants are great options. Or down payment, like down payment assistance programs. I'm seeing more and more gifts and a lot more down payment assistance programs, so that helps. We like to see the reserves, meaning, how many extra months left of your payment do you have? So if your payment's $1,000 a month, if you have $6,000 saved up in, IRA or some other type of account, that means that you have that many months to help pay your payment if anything happened. So that's what they look at. In today's environment, they're just looking for strength. If a person rents, and we can get a proof of your rental history, that's a huge plus. Fannie and Freddie will take that into consideration. And that's taking people who maybe wouldn't have got qualified prior to now they get qualified. Now when I say they wouldn't get qualified, maybe they didn't get qualified for a conventional mortgage, but they got qualified for FHA. You might have had the credit score, but maybe your credit wasn't as deep as what they call it, meaning you didn't have many trade lines, you didn't have a longer history of credit. So those are things that that a lot of what we're looking at. May kind of avoid major purchases. Don't be buying large boats or cars or
boats are great.
Yeah, you never lose money. Like boats and RVs are great because you don't lose money on them. They totally
you never lose money on a good cigar. You just get joy.
You know what?
You get gratitude, baby. Gratitude.
Yep, the worst cigar was always better than no cigar.
So funny that you just said that. Thompson Cigar just sent me an email saying Shane should buy you cigars. I'm so excited.
That's what they said. I was going to send some to you, but they're flavored, so you couldn't get that. Your state, it'd be illegal for your state. I wouldn't want to get you hooked on flavored cigars.
Should be shipped from Ohio for the flavor. Let me get the damn started. So I'm glad to be back with you. We're going to try to be consistent.
Yeah, we're sorry. We got busy, man. Hey, it's a good thing. I mean, hey, you know what? Just follow us on our regular Facebook page too. You'll get a good laugh. We're still idiots. We're still helping people.
Oh, we went to the vision meeting. Our company has this big vision meeting, and we did not get fired by HR. We did not get fired. We might
that
have
was nice.
Pulled some chairs out.
We did pull chairs out. It was raining outside. I made Ed go get the chairs because I didn't want to get my head wet, and he wouldn't got them. And we sat outside. Sits on a wet chair, and
I got a bony butt,
had a wet butt for a bit. And but you know what? We sat out there. We had our. I'm not saying we potentially took alcohol out with us, but it was out there. I didn't bring it out there. It was just some hobo maybe brought it over. I don't know.
Many people come out and visit, say hello, see how we were. Made sure. I think one person called me an HR nightmare. I think that was the answer.
That was HR.
Hey, you aren't far behind, Mr. Not Kind Voice.
I am very kind. I am just less tolerant.
We have 170 people in the company. If we did a survey monkey, 180 would say he's mean.
No, you should.
The 10 they quit because of him.
Hey, underwriters love me.
You said
certain underwriters love me. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Honestly, we had a great. It was a good meeting. It was actually a very good meeting.
Other than it's freaking Ohio, it could be in Florida.
Yeah, we all just stay at Ed's house. No, other Ed.
This is a big
Ed, yeah.
Okay, so to focus, my parting shot is truly this. Be grateful for what you have. Know that there's options in life. Many people out there lost their adult children or young children. People are fighting cancer. People are fighting losing their jobs. Tomorrow's not promised. If you want home ownership to be part of your life, reach out to us. If you want a cigar to be part of your life, reach out to us. If you want a shirt, reach out to us. But just be kind. I mean, for all the picking on Shane, he's a good guy. Hold the door open for somebody. Buy him a scratch ticket. Buy a coffee. You don't know how you're going to impact somebody else's life. There's a lot of mental illness out there. There's a lot of stress. Be a better human. Shane,
there's a lot. They already know there's a lot of mental illness out there when they watch us. They're like, "Oh my God, those guys are a psychologist's nightmare." My big parting shot is this. You know what? That's funny. Basically, getting approved for a loan in 2026, it's not harder. It just takes preparation. And honestly, that's right. And and if you actually just say, "Hey, Ed or Shane, we're thinking about buying a house," and maybe it's not right now, but maybe you're like, "Hey, in like 4 or 5 months, we'd like to really start getting approved." It's a matter of a conversation to see where you're at now. We don't even have to run the credit, and sometimes maybe we can just have a conversation. But without that, you're just like it's basically. And this is, we're probably the worst persons to talk about this, dieting. It's basically like, hey, I want to lose weight. Well, you got to figure out what you got to do first and prepare for it. And if you're not going to do that, it's a wish and a hope, and those don't buy you homes.
That was the most peaceful and professional thing you've ever said.
Well, I am a peaceful and professional guy.
Next time, we'll be a little bit more succinct. We took a break. Have a wonderful day. Remember, May 1st.
Hey, subscribe.
May 1st is Christmas, because my boat goes in the water. We'll talk about that in the next one.
So subscribe, by the way. It's not that hard. It's free. I'll tell you what. Everybody who subscribes, you don't even have to. I won't even charge you. Just do it for free. It's better. It's better.
Shane's wife is the same. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.